welcome to a special edition of Built in the Bush, covering the stories of these awful Western floods that are going on out here and just starting to get in and understand the extent of it. So we've got Louise Hoch here. Louise, thank you for making the time. I know you've got a lot on your plate at the moment. So thank you for making the time to come on here and to share your story and let people get a bit of an understanding of what you guys have gone through and what support looks like today, because I know you've certainly expressed it, but I know I'm getting inundated as well since the podcast. There's a lot of people that want to support and get behind you guys out here. So I'll ask you to share your story and then we'll get into how they can support you guys best at the moment.
Yeah, yep. No, thanks, Tanya. Well,
where do you start?
Oh, that's it. Where do you start? Start from the beginning. Like we had a long, hot, dry summer, and it was no feed. It was dry, and then they're starting to forecast this rain, quite good rain coming.
So you're getting excited about this.
This is great. You know, we're going to get some good rain. Everyone needed good rain out here, so that was great. Started raining, so it was all exciting. It was good, and then it just kept going and going. It just didn't stop. And we ended up with 517 millimeters, here at the lake at home.
And in what sort of time frame is that? How many days a week?
It was over sort of five or 6 days, the rainfall.
And just to put that into context for people out there, what's your annual rainfall here? Well, what was it last year? So
yeah, well, it's sort of 12-inch annual rainfall. So we were getting sort of over double our annual rainfall
in a matter of days.
In the space of days. So
at what point does that start realising that it's gone from great, we're getting the rain that we need, to hang on?
Yeah, well, once it got past 200 mils, it was like, oh, this is a bit too much. And then 300, 400, and then, over 500 here at home. Our block up the river had, over 600 millimetres, and just too much. This country out here is so flat, and it wasn't just isolated showers. 500 or 600 millimeters. Like this whole area had massive rainfall, so it just created record breaking floods
across the whole region, basically.
Across the whole region. Like it's just such a massive area of Western Queensland that's been inundated and devastated by these floods.
Well, twice the size of New South Wales, I think, is the current thing I'm hearing about how much floodwater's covering at present.
So much water, I don't know, but no, it's a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you got to that 500 mils and you were going, okay, this isn't good.
Yeah. And then what? And then the water just kept rising and rising. She just roared this water here at home for days. Causing a lot of stock losses throughout the Shire. Like, ourselves, we know that we've lost a lot of goats in the thousands. So many people have lost a lot of stock.
And again, to put that in context, that's income that you were relying on. Like, when were you planning on selling those? And
well, at the end of April, we were going to send a load, so that's immediate income
that you've lost
straight
away.
Then it goes into the future as well.
Flow-on impacts.
The flow-on impacts. But the stock losses are massive. But it's a lot more than just that. Like the infrastructure losses. From fencing. Fencing will be a big one out here. Fencing, but machinery.
The amount of machinery and as anyone knows, once water goes through machinery, they don't mix too well.
No. And then like wing banks on dams, dam banks, just busted out. The last couple of years, we've put a lot of money into
having good water storage
and also with spreader banks and ponds, regenerating grasslands. We've put a lot of money into that.
To be sustainable.
All those banks, they've just been absolutely annihilated by the, such fast flowing water.
So they've all got to be rebuilt from scratch.
Yep. Start again, pretty much.
And have you guys been able to get out yet to convert or to confirm your stock losses, and because that's not an easy part either.
No. Well, I mean, we have been able to get out a little bit now. As it dries out, we can get out more and more. Yeah, I mean, it might be months before we know, exact numbers until we actually muster. But yeah, just from the amount of dead ones, and what we can see that we've got left, it's fairly high losses. So yeah, I guess going forward, the financial stress of it all, like it's just going to be such a big cost to recover.
Because do we have any? Like I've heard 25,000 kilometres of fencing, but even then, that's a huge underestimation, I think. Do we have any idea yet? How much?
I don't know. It's going to be massive. Like it's just such a big area. It's going to be affected by it. Like all the fencing wiped out.
And so the first priority with that is to get people's property boundaries back in, isn't it? So that
for us, we've got a lot of boundary, laid over, flattened, or missing. So getting the boundary back up will be the first thing, just so the stock we have that you've got left, we make sure we can look after keep there. But it's a slow process. It doesn't all just happen overnight. It's got to make sure it's dry enough, and then we've got to be able to get the materials as well. Fencing materials, netting, steel pickets, barbed wire, and everyone's in the same boat. There's going to be a lot of people needing to do a lot of fencing, so I'm sure there's going to be a shortage of materials.
Eventually. So anyone that wants to or can donate materials, things like that, that'd be a huge help, I'm assuming, with the rebuild.
Yeah, absolutely. Fencing materials will be a big one. Like the roads on our property, the roads have just been
access.
They've been very badly washed out and damaged. So we need to obviously grade the roads so we can actually get around a bit. So that's that will be another thing that
start operating a business again, and for you guys too, I guess, being in the tourism side of it, and anyone that's been out to Quilpie would know the lake is well known and a huge attraction out here. I mean, the sooner you guys are back on your feet too, the sooner we can bring people then, and because there's a lot of people saying, when can we get out there, when can we visit?
Absolutely. I mean, the flooding's obviously going to turn a lot of tourists off this area, but I mean, once roads open back up, people are going to come again. People are going to want to come. I think hopefully the country does start blooming into life. It's it hasn't sort of responded too quickly yet. It's still
so it was a lot of
there's a lot of silt, and
that's what I can't get over.
There's so much topsoil washed away, and then so much silt, and we've had 7 or 8 days over that now. It might have been 8 or 9 days of sunshine.
And
it looks like a desert. There's no sign of life. I mean, I'm sure hopefully it'll come, but it doesn't look good
not
yet.
Just yet. No, it's taking a bit longer.
Anyway, once the country starts responding, it will look beautiful out here. And getting the tourists back, that'll definitely help. We need them back. So
and it helps with the morality of the town too, doesn't it? To have that
energy it's great for us. It helps, it helps our business, and also the businesses in town, just to have those people back, spending money in town.
So what does support look like at the moment? We've been through, there's stages obviously in this, and are you still very much in the just making it through each day, trying to get things happen?
It's kind of so much to get your head around, and sort of where do you start? There's been just from what I've been putting on social media, there's just so much support there from people wanting to help, which is so great. It's so nice. So that's great. And then organisations like Blaze Aid, they've been brilliant. They've contacted us out here. They've got volunteers ready to go. They're coming out very soon, in the next few days, now that it has dried out a bit. So just having that help, just start somewhere will be will be great.
Instrumental, yeah.
Just
knowing you've got other people out here that have done it before too, because they were instrumental in the NQ 2019 rebuild, so they know what they're doing as well.
Yep.
So that's got to be a huge help.
That'll be helpful because there's just so much to do. So having some extra hands will be great.
So how do people support? I know you are getting inundated with messages, and I'm certainly getting them too. How do people support today? So most of the food and the white goods and things, I think, have, from what I can gather, there's still a lot of donations there to go towards that.
I think so.
But that's still available. The CWA, but
CWA
now it's
so now I think like
household and food and those immediate and urgent supplies that we need. But now we're probably looking at, okay, how do we start? How do we get the region back on and operating and starting to rebuild and be able to start making some money and the economy going again and having some normalcy of life? How can people support that at this point in time best for the producers out here?
Well, I guess, financial support is one thing that we sort of need straight away to start, buying fencing materials, to start being able to get, hire contractors in to come and start helping rebuild these fences.
And Blaze Aid are the ones to contact for that, is that right? So we're going to put some detailed links and things up with this, but Blaze Aid is who they can contact with materials and labour donation, things like that. Is that?
I think so, as far as I know. Absolutely.
All the details will be up there, links that you can go in and have a look. I'm putting Louise on the spot a little bit because this has only just been confirmed this morning that they are coming out and they'll be setting up.
So those guys will definitely be ones to contact out here. They're coming to Quilpie. They're very keen to help.
And a few other, they're in the process of other locations too, aren't they? That it's not just Quilpie, but
they're
the only one you can talk to at this stage.
Yep, absolutely. So no, they'll be great. Good to contact them. I'm thinking about just opening up something myself, like just a GoFundMe, because there's a lot of messages there, like people want to donate to help, but just something where they can donate directly to help the graziers in this shire, to be able to start buying what they need to rebuild.
Because I guess the important part for those listening too, in Quilpie, the town itself does not flood. It's very safe. Yes, businesses are impacted when the roads are shut and things like that, but the town itself does not flood. Thargomindah, yes. Adavale, the whole township, absolutely. For the Shire of Quilpie, though, it's the primary producers, all those small towns like Adavale, etc. They're the ones at the moment. They're the ones that have been the most impacted. They've had their livestock wiped out. And again, for context at home, the cash part of it is that when they lose their livestock, that's their ability to make income. And for some, that could be the next 6-12 months that was their whole income was relying on that. So it's just about having something in the interim to be able to start getting you back up on your feet, isn't it?
And absolutely.
Until that income is coming back in. Is that a fair summary of it? Just so people understand it at home.
Yep, no, that's we need that cash flow to pay bills, and then to start buying what we need to rebuild what we've lost.
Yeah. And we know that you will. The people out here are tough and you're resilient, but it doesn't mean that you don't all need a bit of support at the moment. And you have got all of Australia behind you guys.
The overwhelming amount of support and messages coming through, which is great. It's
really heartening to know that
it is.
Yep. Restores your faith in humanity.
Yes, absolutely.
So while we're also going to keep, Louise has been very generous in she's going to allow us to keep checking in as well, because the whole point of this too is just so that people can understand it's not about the flood. The work starts afterwards and the impact of it is ongoing, and it does affect you in the city. If you eat Australian produce, then it's going to be impacted. The flow-on effect is there. And just as when country people need the city people and all the services and things you offer, city people need us country people as well, growing the food to go into the shops. And I guess the thing I love about this as someone who's from the country and now living in the city is the support that is just so clearly coming to you guys and what you're going through, and Australians uniting as Australians. So I guess I want to thank you for, I know you've got a lot on your plate, but you're making time when any media or anyone or me contacts you to get that message out, because you want everyone to be helped and you want all of the shires to be able to rebuild.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess, are there any other, and again, I'm putting you on the spot, are there any other groups or organisations or particulars that have, you know, been instrumental so far that haven't already got a shout out, perhaps? I am putting Louise on the spot here.
I'm not sure. I don't know what others are there at the moment, but
Blaze Aid is the big one, so we're going to have the details up there.
Yeah, we've been contacted by them, so I know them. Like, I'm sure Give It is involved, you know, here and
so we'll have
Shire.
For the more personal and household type items, I think, from what I'm being told.
I'm not sure.
And there'll be
the CWA as well.
And there'll be a GoFundMe page for the Quilpie Shire units set up for the Quilpie producers to help them rebuild
producers. Well. Definitely.
I believe Adavale's got a GoFundMe page, so they were a town that was wiped out and may or may not be rebuilt. Fargo, I believe, as well. They've had flooding through the town, so but Blaze Aid will definitely overarch as well for all the infrastructure in all of those too. I missed any? I probably have missed.
I don't think so. But maybe. But anyway, you've covered a bit. That's good. It's a start.
Well, thank you for making the time today and for sharing a bit of your story so far. I'll let you get back to all the important things of starting the rebuild, but we'll be checking in with Louise, and we'll also have all those links up there so that all you amazing people out there that are wanting to donate and support. And the thing with Blaze Aid is I believe, check the link when it goes there, but I think you can support labour. It's not just monetary as well. So if you've got some machinery, if you've got some experience in fencing, any of those sorts of things, have a look on that Blaze Aid website. They'll be instrumental, or there's that GoFundMe page coming soon to help the primary producers rebuild in the
Quilpie Shire.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you, Louise.
Thanks, Tanya.
Good chatting.
Yeah.